Happy Monday morning and welcome to the Morning Bagel review of Celsius Matters. Just settling in here and was watching Aaron Bennett's latest video where he covers the loans and earns settlement. Let's cover the mechanics of the 5% distribution. Effectively, this is just cutting a pie into more slices. It's not going to cause the estate to come into 5% more value, right? So if you had a pie and you cut it from 8 slices into 16 slices, you'd be getting twice as many slices, but you're getting just as much of the pie as you did prior. The 5% increase does really two things. First, by increasing the value of the claim you're entitled to, it helps protect a bit from the rug pull scenario because you would need 5% more value to be made 100% whole. So it gives you a little bit extra protection. Second of all, to the extent that other creditors are receiving a different percentage of those recoveries, it would change the allocation amongst creditors. So if I was getting 10% and you were getting 5%, I'd be getting more because of these non-contract claim boosts applied to my account. While everybody is getting 5%, loans is getting effectively close to 10% because their numbers are juiced because they're applying to their loan collateral and not their set-off earn claim. They've received about $400 million worth of loan principal. They have collateral backing that almost double the value of their principal, right? So by applying the 5% to their collateral instead of the set-off earn claim that they're entitled to, we've effectively doubled the value to loans people. And that does come at the expense of earn. So the numbers that Tony had put out for the borrowers are going to look better than those for earn. Earn can expect roughly a 69% recovery mixed between crypto distribution and equity. We're waiting on the debtor's advisors to produce more detailed numbers, so those should be out soon. One of your commenters mentions that Earn seems to always be getting the worst deal, and that is roughly true. Earn is what you can say the base case for recoveries. So Earn will be the floor, and if you have a unique circumstance, you can get an improved recovery effectively at the expense of Earn people. The whole idea of the settlement was to make sure that Earn is not getting rated disproportionately. Earn is going to pay an amount that we can live with to get this process moved along because every month costs about $20 million worth of legal and advisory expenses. This is coming out of our recoveries, so we need to get this process through. If loans gets a slightly better deal to get the process moving along, that is worth it. The longer this drags on, the greater the likelihood of the rug pull scenario, which would be if creditors are made 100% whole as of petition date pricing, then we would not be entitled to more recoveries. Our recoveries are capped at 100% of our claims. So other people further down the waterfall, like other equity investors, would be entitled to recoveries at our expense. So we want to get this process over and done with. Simon's estimate of over 50K Bitcoin triggering the rug pull scenario, it may actually be lower than that, right? So there's two different stages of rug pull. The numbers that Simon put out are the ultimate rug pull, where creditors are getting made whole 100% in crypto based on petition date pricing. There's another rug pull scenario, the danger zone of rug pull, that would kick in at 42K Bitcoin roughly. And what this would mean is, based upon both crypto and estimated equity value, creditors would be made 100%. And that means you can still have agitators further down the waterfall hierarchy saying, okay, these creditors are getting made 100% whole. We deserve a share of equity now as well. And you could see equity starting to go towards equity investors in the Celsius failure. And that would, again, not be good for creditors. We want to preserve as much value as possible. So get this process over with. Let's get out of this as soon as possible. Maybe even the end of the year. Aaron has really good suggestions about whether you should opt in or not. For the vast majority of people, it's going to make sense to opt into the settlement. You're going to get your balance increased by 5%. If you disagree with the 5%, or you have special circumstances that you believe entitle you to more than other people, what you should be doing is finding similarly situated people who are in your group, and you should be going to the UCC, who can go to the debtors, and they can try to strike a deal on your behalf. And maybe you can get an extra percentage or two applied to your claim. If you don't reach a settlement, you are going down a much more painful legal road because you're going to be paying your own legal representation, arguing your case, and you may wind up with less than 5% when this is all said and done. The estate only has so much value, so there are some particular cases where it makes sense to try to strike a settlement. Those would be sell token folks, liquidated loan folks, people that made double deposits trying to salvage their loans. So if you made a deposit trying to pay off a loan and your collateral and your deposit got trapped, that's a unique circumstance that should be addressed. So try to start dialogue with the UCC to work out a deal. With regards to Crypto YOLO's tweet, amongst the people that are not accepting this 5%, and they could have the value of that 5% distributed to other creditors, while that is true in theory, I would think that the estate is going to just hold back all the value that would have gone to those people that have opted out, rather than distribute that proactively to other creditors. There is a chance there may be more value left over that could later be distributed to creditors, but that would be over a period of time rather than immediate. Just as a word of warning, if you're one of the 30,000 creditors who have previously filed a proof of claim, it's unclear whether the debtors would have the right to automatically override that, but if we are affirmatively opting in to the new settlement, it will override our previous settlement. So just keep your eyes peeled to make sure that you're opting into the settlement if that's what you desire to do, and what I would advise to do, although I am not your legal advisor. If you have interest in listening to the full plan term sheet on tape, you can take a listen right there. And Celsius Network is continuing to have monthly fundraisers for Celsius victims who lost more than they can afford to lose. For July, we're wrapping up our fundraiser for Rebecca Gallagher, who lost her life savings after Mashinsky personally promised that they were safe on Celsius. We're lining up a new round of interviews for August, so stay tuned within the next couple weeks. That should be hitting. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. And it's a Bergie. I agree, a collab between Aaron and Pete would be fantastic. Pete, get back on YouTube and make this happen.